welcome to my channel, and in this video I am going to show you how to make agua de melon. So you're going to need cantaloupe, sugar, water, a blender, a knife, cutting board, and a spoon. I used 2 cantaloupes, 4 or 5 tablespoons of sugar, and 4 cups of water. So I am just cutting the cantaloupe in half, and I am going to remove all of the seeds and place them onto the cutting board. Now, I don't eat cantaloupe. For some reason, I just don't like the texture of it. But when I make it like this, I love it. It tastes so delicious. So that's how I like to make it. So I was having a hard time with this knife, so I just diced it up. This is how I cut it. You don't have to necessarily cut it like this. You can cut it however small, big you want, as long as, of course, it fits in the blender. Now here I made a mistake and placed all of the cantaloupe into the blender at once without adding water. You're supposed to add water first, or a little bit of water, when you're blending this. So as you can see, I tried to blend it and nothing happened. So I had to remove a lot of the cantaloupe. I added about ½ cup of water, and I'm adding the cantaloupe back into the blender. So now that it's blended, I am adding a little bit more water, only because I saw the consistency was a little too thick, and this kind of water isn't supposed to be thick. Unless that's how you like it, then don't add anything else. But I went ahead and blended it again, and I am going to taste it to see even if I needed to add sugar. And right here I am adding 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then I am going to blend it again so that everything can mix well together. So now that everything's blended and mixed in well together, I'm going to pour it into my glass container that has my little spout at the bottom, and this is how much came out of 1 cantaloupe. Now I am going to do the second one, and this is how I cut it up. That little green stuff is just from the bottom of the cantaloupe, but it's okay. And I went ahead and used the water that I already made and poured it into the blender instead of using fresh water. So when you're doing this, use the water that's already made instead of having to use fresh water. Unless you want to use fresh water, use fresh water. But I went ahead and added the cantaloupe. I'm blending it in, and I noticed that it was at the consistency after I added the rest of the cantaloupe, so I added more of the water. So as you can see, the consistency is still a little thick. So I went ahead and poured a little bit more water and blend it again. I poured some of it into the jug, and I left some of it in the blender, and I added a cup of fresh water just so that it can, it won't be so thick. And I added 2 more tablespoons of sugar. So here I just added the last tablespoon of sugar, and now I'm just stirring it up, pour it in a glass with ice, and there you go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next video.